Welcome to the Doc of Shame podcast. I am Matt, and here with me
That's
is...
the Ron show.
But I am Matt. Here with me is...
My name is Chris, and I have all the Total Drama rantings in front of me. I'm ready to talk some Total Drama Island.
Am I at the right
My
place?
name is Matt Walsh, and I don't know if this is actually part of the episode or not.
My name's Mr. LeClaire to you. And you don't need to know anything.
It's a crossover. No,
Guys,
Does it count
every
as a
Team Chaos
crossover?
podcast is all crossover podcasts. Like, we're always do crossovers. That's the thing. That's our brand.
I don't think it counts as a crossover if we're all the same people, though.
Okay.
Wouldn't you have to have the characters in order for it to be a crossover?
That's
Yeah,
true.
like if
That's
Chet
true.
Avery came on the Dock of Shame, that would be a crossover.
Oh, that would be great.
Or
Yes.
if Matt, or if Matt Walsh was on Table Party.
Wait,
Wait.
what?
We're going to do a little bit of management as one of the players leveled up due to experience. And then I'm going to give a bit of a recap. All right, Gabe, congratulations. You have evolved.
Duh, 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 duh,
You have
duh,
rolled
duh.
you have rolled shittily, and now you have evolved. Now as a pararomantic, when you level up, you can increase one of your stats. You can take another pararomantic move, gain an ally, or even take a move from another playbook. What would you like to do? Ooh. All right. What is it going to be, left or right? Maybe forwards? What move? Bondage time.
That's not a
I mean-
direction I'm used to.
Okay.
Yes, but not right now.
Gabe, can you pick? Can you read out what bonding time is? Okay. I'm very curious, especially if you go in and you're like, I'd like to receive a gift from my guide, and I'll be like, okay.
Here's some endorphins.
No, I will. It will be plot oriented, but just expect me to cut out a long period of me thinking. But no, that was definitely one that a move that I thought was really interested, and I'm excited to see where that goes. Okay, so to break the fifth wall for a moment, the audio wall. It's been a while since we've played, so I'm going to give a quick recap. So I did share with you guys some of the immediate information in terms of text that you guys happened upon last episode, with the in terms of Patrick McMahon, who was known as Nine, who was previously I believe he was previously Slots, as well as the parts that Jesse needs. You guys have already secured Zim Zam Zoom Hot Pickle Chips, so congrats on that. He is still in need of a car battery, a plunger, and a pearl. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, to really bring it back, of course, we had our first mystery with the Greyhound, and we know how that went in terms of loose ends. We found out that the mystery that the vision that the Order meant to give Hold'em was not the mystery that they expected. Originally, the council had a vision that was a grocery store, as well as... I'll edit that out.
As well as the Greyhounds again.
And the Greyhound. That was the Greyhound making one final appearance as like a final goodbye, and then she'll probably bark again. And with that, so they had one vision that was a grocery store, the processed meat making a lot of the town sick, and of the manager who works the store. And at some point between then and the next day, where Hold'em had his vision, you guys have pieced together that something must have changed within that time period. And at this point, you're suspecting 9 because 9 has just disappeared. He has not been showing up for work, and he is just he is just gone. So that's the one lead you guys have currently. In terms of the council, they have temporarily stepped down, and in their place, Hold'em, you know that not only Jack and Tex stepped up, but you also know that Omaha, Joker, and we'll say Craps.
Okay. The one with the
Stepped
with
up.
the fondue fountain.
So it is now it's decreased from a 10-person council to a temporary 5.
Okay.
I swear to God, I'm gonna kiss that dog if she doesn't shut up. Other than that, in terms of what is going on with everybody else, it appears that Roy Mescombe and Cassandra James have appeared in flats despite Jeremiah's efforts in order to stay out of their hair, and it is very surprising that they have come this far to find LeClaire. They must, and you've kind of pieced together that they must have been tipped off somehow, but you have no idea how. And your, I guess, indifference about wanting to help the town against these monsters has been, has come into conflict with Julia almost kind of holding the information, knowing that Roy Mescombe and Cassandra James are in town looking for you over your head, hoping that you'll help keep taking care of these monsters, or else she will inform them that you are indeed here and where to find you.
Yeah.
Other than that, we have Cliff, who was able to successfully save his daughter, who told his wife and daughter about the events of the first arc, and also was temporarily kidnapped, but then befriended a alien named Jesse.
I love Jesse.
Yes. Hey, Jesse. Ooh.
Wow, you really had to pull that reference out of
And
your
finally... yes, I did. And I hope Debbie Ryan's doing okay.
Yeah, we haven't seen her a lot.
Yeah.
She was a meme for a little bit, but
I only know her as
what are you
a
gonna do?
meme. I never actually watched anything she was in.
You never watched Sweet Life
I
on
only-
Deck?
Sweet Life on Deck was,
It was
so
like,
good.
don't insult me, but it was like just after me, like just
No, I
a
know.
little,
No,
just like by a year or two, I think.
no, you were Sweet Life, Zach and Cody, and then
You're
Oh, God.
excused, Kelsey. It's okay.
Thanks.
you're excused. We forgive
I
you,
appreciate it.
despite your sins. And finally, we have William, who was attacked by by a parasite, but was able to come through and has created a symbiotic relationship with who he has named Vita. Together, they have been solving mysteries all over town, and together they've been working together to. You guys have learned that there are possibly other parasites out there. That there was something wrong in terms of the dog and the parasite symbiosis, and whatever was supposed to happen, which was just really the parasite taking over the dog, did not. You do not know what the reason was on that failing, and you guys were able to successfully take down the rogue parasite. With that, you also tapped into your powers a bit at the very end, realizing that you could essentially kind of control aspects of your body, almost like Venom or like prototype style, really like manipulate, and you really have no idea what kind of bounds that'll lead to. And previously, it even caused you to like almost superhuman strength flip over an entire couch. And yeah,
Neat.
I think that's it. I don't believe I am forgetting anything. And with that, we can begin. You guys were all together in Jeremiah's motel room, and you guys were sharing information and figuring out what to do.
I believe that we just then. I feel like I don't know why, but it felt like we ended the last one in like going into someone's car and driving to, I guess, wherever we think 9 is or something. I thought there was some sort of decision that we were making between searching for 9 and or doing the grocery list for Jesse. Either one of those.
I think we were going to 9.
Well, we'll discuss. What do you guys want to do?
Well, the 9th thing is a lot more pressing for me.
Right.
Because, and we don't really have many other leads, I guess.
Like, do we know where we're going, I guess, is what my big thing. Like, where is the next stop for us? Are we just going to go to where 9 lives? Or where we think he lives?
Yeah, I'll remind you guys, you do have his address, which is I believe it was a apartment in Vegas. But if you have any other leads you want to follow or anything else you want to investigate, you can go right ahead.
Yeah, I don't think we have any objections to just going to 9.
I mean, I think, yeah, I guess that's just to find out
good.
what the heck's happening. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, sure. So, who's driving? Shotgun?
I'm driving.
Cliff is driving.
Are we sure?
Does Leclerc have a car?
What did Kelsey? What did you say?
No, I
think
just
you cut
said,
out
are you
mine.
sure? I think I do. Don't I have like a pickup or something?
Oh, you do, because you almost ran over the Greyhound. Or
Yeah,
did run
it was
over
the one you hit the dog with.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll say you guys can take Cliff's pickup, which is easy enough, and then through the magic of narrative storytelling, you are there.
What do we see,
Okay.
or should I roll for this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Hold on. I'm also the world. I forgot. So you guys make it to the apartment complex, and it is a fairly simple, almost like it's almost like a outdoor motel mixed with an apartment complex where each apartment is kind of open to a large courtyard area that you would enter into. And it appears as if you would enter through the main lobby to head up to the main hallways into the apartment complex, which, as you walk by, it doesn't seem too difficult as the person, just keeping eye. It's not necessarily like a closed one where you have to buzz in order to actually get into the building. Almost like a hotel, you were able to just kind of walk around, walk up to different doors, and just move freely. The actual number on the apartment, you realize, is on the second level, as this sort of outdoorsy apartments are only 2 stories high. So as you make it to the second floor and you make your way to the room, you find it is apartment 201. And to the, we'll say to the right, at 2:03, there you can see sitting out on the porch in this almost like camping chair is a much older woman who appears to be reading a book and sitting by herself. You also take a look around at 201, and it appears to have a very similar structure to a lot of the other apartments. While there is a door, there is also a window in order to look outside that is to the right of the front door.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say we should. Do you want to knock and we stay back, or do we all want to just be crowding the front door? Like, I don't know what you want to do here, Hold'em.
Yeah, I'll take the lead. If I think there's something wrong, I'll like signal y'all to come in and kick ass, I guess. This might be a little bit weird, so I'm just gonna go ahead and knock.
All right, and
Hey, 9.
I like. Oh, never mind.
There's no answer.
I knock louder.
There is no answer.
All right, I turn to the
How does
lady
the-
sitting in the
did
laundry.
anybody try to-
The
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
no, Clara, what was that?
No, I was gonna ask if anybody. I'm sorry, I missed where in relation to the front of the building, like where the door is the woman.
Like about 10 feet to your right, if you were looking at the front door, about 10 feet to your right is like an older woman just sitting there in a chair. And as you kind of notice her, she kind of looks up from her book and she's like, "Oh, hello. Are you four friends of Patrick?"
You could say that. We're just trying to find him. I'm a coworker of his. He hasn't come into work the past few weeks, and I'm a little worried about him, so I wanted to just check on him. Do you know?
Oh, of course.
Do you know anything?
I haven't seen him since yesterday, but I don't think he's home.
Could you tell us exactly was he doing yesterday?
Oh, well, yesterday he seemed to be in quite a rush. He got home and it seemed like he seemed a little scared, to be honest. But he went inside. He's usually a very nice boy, but but I wouldn't worry about him. He always helps me with my groceries, and he's always a very nice young man.
Okay.
Do you guys? I feel like Hold'em should be the one to like roll for investigating a mystery.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say I would do it, but that would make so much sense as Hold'em's leading.
I would say go instead of investigate a mystery, possibly read a bad situation.
Oh, great, wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm saying read a bad situation because those have questions like, what's my best way in? What's my best way out?
okay.
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
How-
Cool.
Exclamation point 2d6 is that? There we go.
Yep.
Well.
Oh yeah, that's a 3.
Alright, well, that's also
Plus,
plus read a bad situation plus 1 is a 4.
all right. Mark experience.
I leveled up.
And okay, sorry, I could not hear
That's
you.
okay.
All right, and with that, I will take a I'll take a little bit of a I'm gonna take a little bit of a hard move.
Oh, be my guest.
And the as you guys are as you're looking up and down the door and around the window to see if maybe there is like maybe he's home. Is there like is he just trying to hide out? You hear a iPhone camera click. And the old woman, you will look over and the old woman has taken a picture of the four of you. And she kind of stands up from her chair. You four seem very suspicious. I'm going to show Patrick your faces later. I'm sure if you know him, you have nothing to worry about. But four strange men just showing up at a man's door when he's not home. That's a bit scary, don't you think?
Yeah, I see how this can be, could be a little intimidating.
I'm going to go inside so I don't get mugged.
Yeah, you do that.
Have a good
You
day.
do that.
Full disclosure, I was kind of hoping that we would have the opportunity to talk before we got out of the car, but we got like put like right in front of the door. Like,
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I ever overstep my boundaries as DM and put you guys somewhere you'd rather not, or if I'm even describing something like events happening in real time and you ever want to like act during that, feel free to interrupt.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, because I was actually thinking, like, would it be weird if 4 people showed up at the guy's door? All right, it's okay though.
Yeah,
That's
so
fine.
she grabs her book in her chair and she kind of scuttles into her her apartment.
Well, that went well.
Does anybody else want to? You guys are just standing at this door, kind of just staring at it.
I kind of want to try again with investigate a mystery or read a bad situation rather, but
sure, roll to read a bad situation.
My number is shitty, so I don't know. I'm feeling very.
Or you can help somebody if you want to take the help action, and then.
I would actually like. I
don't know.
I know. I just.
Well, help. I guess help in this game is more of like a secondary thing.
Yeah. I have a good helping out thing, so I can do that if you want to try.
Okay.
So go ahead and read a bad situation, and then we'll see.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a 9 minus 1 and an 8.
So if I can.
All right, on a 7 and 9, hold 1. And when you act on these answers, you get +1 ongoing while the information is relevant. I am going to copy and paste to you what the questions are. So you get to pick one.
By the way, I took my level up move. I added +1 to my cool.
Oh, you just leveled up?
Yeah.
With that fail.
Oh yeah.
So now I have no negative stats.
I feel like I kind of want to. I don't want to like break into this guy's house, but I do want to at least. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
Okay. With that one, are there any dangers we haven't noticed? You kind of looking around. You kind of go to look through the peephole, and there's really nothing. You can't really see through it, and then you go to look. Do you want to look through the window? Because
yes,
as you look in the window, the blinds are down, so it's a little hard to see. But as you look around, you can see this. It's you probably have to go in to see a little bit better. But it appears as if where there would be like a dining room area, there is no table. There's just like a single chair there, sitting there, where there would be like TV and like furniture. There you can see maybe like the indents of where like a couch would be, but there is just nothing there. This place looks extremely bare, and as you go to look away, you see something almost like scutter across the floor in there. And you miss what exactly it is, but it looks like it must have been something almost small and almost thin, like something like a rat or a large bug maybe, but you can't make it out from here. That's the only danger that you have not noticed yet.
Y'all, I think your friend turned into a bug.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I saw something crawling around in there. I mean it's completely empty otherwise.
Is it possible he fled? Are we maybe going to look for maybe like tire tracks leading away from the place or footsteps or something?
I mean,
yeah,
we definitely could.
You want to investigate?
Yeah, I'll investigate.
Okay.
Psst, how do I roll again?
Exclamation point 2d6.
Do exclamation point
Thank you.
2d6.
And then what is it? Plus sharp?
It is for invest. Yeah,
So
it's
it's an
plus
8.
sharp for either one. 8. Do you want to do investigate a mystery to as like a or read a bad situation? Investigate a mystery would be these questions here, while investigate a mystery would be the previous questions I had posted.
I'm going to do investigate a mystery.
Okay.
So since it was what does hold 1 mean again if it's 7 to 9?
You ta-
On a 7 to 9, that means that you hold 1 means you get to pick
Okay.
one question.
When I say where did it go, can that be our friend?
Yes, it can be. It can be our good
Okay,
friend
but
Patrick.
where did Patrick go?
You you kind of push Cliff out of the way a little bit to look into the window.
I
to kind of
flail
see
to the ground.
like what is this? What is this fucking dipshit talking about? And you look inside the window, and you notice something that he previously had not. Hanging what looks like hanging in what almost like in the hallway. Almost just like or actually thrown to the side on the floor in the hallway, appears to be some sort of apron just lying on the ground. Hey everybody, I just wanted to pop in with a couple announcements. First of all, over at Virtual Ball Boys, they are now doing their video game fantasy football league, which means that they are actually drafting video game characters and then using tabletop roleplay elements to see how those games would come about. If you want to know how they're doing that and how they're going about that, I had the awesome chance to actually work on them with creating the rules on how that kind of game would play. And if you like tabletop roleplay elements, I definitely suggest going to check it out over on Virtual Ball Boys, as they are going to do an amazing job, and I'm really excited to see how that draft and the games go. Other than that, I wanted to remind you guys to share the show with the hashtag Table Party. If you do that on Twitter or Instagram, then we can see it and we can have you guys featured as a part of the show. Just include, pronouns in your bio, and I'd really be happy to have you guys be a part of our journey. Other than that, you can follow us right on Twitter at The Table Party. Other than that, I wanted to give a big shout out to the music used in this episode. The intro and outro music is done by our very own Matt, which you can find as Havana Music. Definitely go check him out. Other than that, the additional music is done by Louis Zong. You can find him on all social media as well. And a very big shout out and thank you to both of those amazing and excellent composers. Other than that, if you want to promote anything in this space, send us an email at teamchaosprod@gmail.com. That's PROD, like as in productions. And if you want to send us an email, we can figure out what you'd like to promote in here. Other than that, I hope you guys are doing good, and I'll get you back to the table party.
Kelsey, do you have any like lockpicking shit?
So I have like. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Is this but we still have to try the door. The door might just be unlocked though, too.
Yeah.
So I do have a skill where I know some cops, and I can persuade them to look the other way. So in the event that we do break in, and there then becomes an issue
good.
of, like, somebody calls the cops, like our friend on the porch, or something like that, I can try and get that to not happen.
Can you steal the old lady's iPhone too?
I mean, I may be able to, because I have another skill that allows me to manipulate or trick people.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! Let this be a Mr. LeClaire heavy episode where Kelsey just fucks everyone up and just, we get done everything that we want.
I mean, strat wise, we could do it where I can create a diversion while you guys are trying to get into the place. I can go speak to the lady, use my illusion skill to try and trick her and swipe her phone. I'm
down with that.
In some regard, if she's been a neighbor that's maybe a little bit on the nosy side, she's maybe taken some photos of some other things, weird things that have happened around. I don't know.
God.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Just an
Kelsey,
idea.
You need to do this. You need to do this.
Yeah, no, this is now I think we'll be all very disappointed if you don't at least try to do this.
I mean, you still probably have to roll well for it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, and I don't want to overstep narrative things. This is just as a character
Kelsey?
if I was coming up.
Kelsey, there is no coming up. You guys do whatever you want, whenever you want. Whatever narrative I have planned, you should be ready to throw out the window.
Okay.
And I am ready to throw out the window.
Okay. Cool.
As the DM, it is my job to have things ready, and then, but if you guys decide to look under a cardboard rock in the street for 40 minutes, I should be ready to improvise that.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Are you telling us that the world's full of cardboard?
Yeah, everything.
Wait
here
a minute.
Is cardboard. Everything here is cardboard cutouts, except for the one fully fleshed out place that you guys haven't even realized to go to yet.
You mean it's always been cardboard? Always has been.
Always has been.
Always has been.
You mean it's all cardboard? Always has been.
Always has been.
I just realized what meme that's from. That took me a bit.
What is it that you guys would like to do?
All right.
Kelsey's plan.
This is what I'm thinking. I got some friends on the force, so if you guys want to go ahead and get your way into the apartment, I'll let you guys do that, and then I'll try to pull some weight on my end to make sure that we can get away from that. At the same time, I want to go talk to our little old lady friend and see if I can swipe that phone to try and get rid of some of the evidence that we were ever here. Does that sound good to you guys?
Are we talking about doing crimes right now? I'm not down for the crimes, guys.
Cliff, you're gonna have to be down for the crimes.
Listen, if you don't want to do crimes, you don't have to. We can take care of this.
Or what he
I
said.
can do this. Yeah.
All right. I'm just gonna lie down in the garden.
Why don't you be a lookout for us, Cliff?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can you do that?
Looking is not illegal. Yes, I believe so. Okay, I'll do that.
Will, what about you?
Go stand by my truck.
Okay, cool.
All right, you want me to go down to the truck, LeClaire?
Yes. Here,
Okay,
take
cool.
my keys just in case something goes south. But if you bang it up, I swear to God, Cliff.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna try to open the door.
Okay.
You
you
turn the
reach
handle.
your hand around the knob, and it's locked.
Fuck you.
Wow.
There's
All right,
also the window.
All right, I try to open the window.
You go to open the window, placing both hands firmly onto the glass, and as you push up, the window opens.
Oh, good.
All right, I climb in.
Okay. All right, yeah, Cliff, you're like walking back, like nothing illegal about watching, and like you turn around to like make sure that everything's okay, and you just like watch, just hold him, just like head first, just like climb into like this man's apartment, like nothing illegal about looking.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Want to go back to my happy place? Happy place. Greens, fairways. Whee! Like I start going insane.
All right, Jeremiah, what is it that you were doing exactly?
I would like to go to the woman's apartment and knock on her door and have a conversation with her, and I would like to try and distract her with my charms to try and swipe her phone away and then leave with the phone.
Okay, all right.
And I'm using my charlatan background for that.
When you want people to think you are using magic.
It says you may also manipulate people with fortune telling. Okay.
Oh, okay. I think it's going to be less like straight up just like what like I can tell your fortune. And we'll do this much more like you can, as a politician, you can tell what it is. You can read people. You can tell what people want. And you can prescribe them words based upon what you think an audience or a person or an individual might want. Which a person and an individual is the same thing.
Yeah. So was I... Right, thank you. Was I... When we were standing there and initially looking at the door and then she spoke with us and she took our photo, was I... Yeah. So, like, she clearly saw who I was, but if I, like, took off my jacket and my hat and, like, took off a necktie or not like fully stripped, but like if I altered my appearance slightly, is she old enough where I could get away with her thinking I was somebody else temporarily?
I don't think so. I think that I will say, at a better look, this woman is probably, while you would say maybe like early 70s, she definitely seems like spry for her age. Like she got up and packed up pretty quickly. And she didn't seem too hindered by her age.
I think you have to go full nude if you want to trick her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think... Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
You're gonna have to woo her as a strapping young man.
Okay. Sorry. I will try to woo her by being a con man. Let's try that much.
Sure.
Alright, so then am I...
So, okay, we'll say you knock on the door, and she is going to, she would answer by, like, opening the door, but, like, with the chain on.
Yeah, of course.
And she's like, oh, is there anything I can help you with?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I just came to apologize. We did not mean to give you such a fright back there. We're just looking for a good friend of ours. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I was enjoying some of the sunlight, but what is it? How do you poise know Patrick? Why don't you go ahead and roll? Well, actually, you may also manipulate people with fort. Why don't you go ahead and roll plus cool, and actually no, then even. You get this even as a miss. So as a free question, you know what? No, you're gonna roll plus cool. Actually, that's so weird because as charlatan, you're rolling plus cool and not plus charm. Oh, you know what? I'm.
So do I have to use my background for this, or can I just try to do this regardless? Like, is it like
just do the regular manipulate someone?
You're going to do the regular manipulate someone, but I will also give you the free question. What is it that they are hoping for right now?
Okay.
And as the free question, what is it that they are hoping for right now? we're gonna say you are someone who has insight in reading people, and you kind of look into this this old woman's eyes, and while she has like energy and emotion in her voice, her face and eyes almost seem like very kind of like blank and emotionless.
Is she the guy we're looking for?
You do not believe so.
Okay.
But she definitely seems to be hiding something, and she wants to keep that to herself, and that is and she's hoping that you do not discover that secret.
Can I?
That is what she is hoping for right now.
So before rolling to manipulate her, is there something that I could do? Like, am I allowed to try and see into the apartment based off how she cracks the door for anything that looks strange? To try and figure out what the thing is that she's trying to hide?
I feel like you'd have to roll for that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Let's see. I would need you to roll investigate a mystery.
Investigate a mystery, you said?
Yep,
Yeah.
that is. You're gonna roll and then add sharp.
Okay. So it's 9.
All right. Here are I'll repost your questions. On a 7 and 9, you get to ask one of these questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
What is being concealed here?
With what is being concealed here, in this brief instance, you look behind this woman as you very quickly get a glance into her apartment, and it appears as if her apartment, almost like the last apartment you just looked into, is extremely bare. While the chair and book are almost just like put to the side, like right by the door. Like usually you would put that on like, a dresser. You'd have like somewhere to keep that. However, it is just sitting to the side in an almost empty room. There is what almost looks like one chair and possibly in the living area, but other than that, it looks almost like this house is just like this apartment is just not being lived in. It is just almost empty.
Okay. Can I speak to her and ask her questions, and then you just let me know if something that I'm asking requires a roll or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to be honest with you. We initially didn't want to disclose this, but it appears that Patrick here is in a bit of trouble. And it may not just be limited to Patrick himself, could be others in the area. So I'd like to ask you a few questions about the housing situation here to kind of understand what kind of force we may need to bring in.
Oh, that's terrible. What kind of trouble did he get himself into?
We're not at liberty to discuss full pieces of information at this time. My investigative unit is here just to kind of collect some information and see if we can find out anything about his potential whereabouts. Would you mind answering some questions for me?
Okay, I want you to roll to manipulate someone.
Okay.
With that, you're gonna roll plus charm.
Okay.
At this point, I feel like William has probably made it through the window. If William goes through the window.
If you'd like, I can say that I rolled a 7, and then I don't know if you want to finish the consequences of that number and then go back to him. I'm fine with bouncing around.
On a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. I'm going to do that as like they're not just going to like outright lie. They're kind of you're still leading them on, but they're also not. You get the sense they don't necessarily like not believe you, but they are kind of like still following you. With that, William, do you go in through the window? Yeah. As William and Hold'em, as you guys make your way into the room, this small apartment feels very spacious when there is very little furniture here. And to the left, what could be like a living room area is empty. And now you get a much better look along the walls where there would be maybe like paintings or even like photo frames. They have been taken down. And you can even see like the slightest outline of where these frames might have possibly hung, where there would be a dining room table possibly, or even an eating area from where you first entered, and maybe a little bit to the right. There is no table. It is just a singular chair that looks like it has been unmoved. Behind that chair is a kitchen area that appears relatively clean, and if you guys look around a little further, you can see maybe a few cans in the cabinets from here, but you don't see much. Other than that, in between the living room area and the kitchen, there appears to be a hallway that goes slightly farther back into the apartment. Spatial-wise, you wouldn't guess that this apartment is huge. There's most likely, you'd think, maybe a bedroom or a bathroom back there. But you do not see whatever insect-like thing Cliff was talking about. However, you can see about halfway down the hallway some sort of cloth just like laying on the floor in this dim lighting as the lights are not on.
I'm gonna go to the cloth and pick it up.
Okay. As you make your way over to the hallway, you can now see down the hallway. On your left, on the left side of the hallway, there appears to be 2 doors, as well as on the right there are 2 doors. And at the very end of the hallway, around where it would end, there is a small side table where maybe you put like a vase or maybe like a photo, something like that. But it is completely bare except for what almost looks like there just seems to be something sitting on it. And for that, I would have you roll, but you are able to you're able to walk up to the apron, and as you're walking up to it, you see the thing on the side table, and I want you to roll. We're gonna roll read a bad situation.
Okay. That's an 8 + 1, 9.
That with a 9, you are able to ask one question, and if you act on the answers, then you can get +1 moving forward.
Okay.
And actually, wait, would you roll a 9?
9. Is there any way William can try to help out? No, I don't think it's needed. I don't
no,
think
I
there's
was thinking if you if you act on the answers, you get +1 ongoing. However, it was Kelsey who made the roll, so if Kelsey had like gone on to check out the apron, then
okay.
They would get another +1 to it. But with that, I'm not going to give that to you.
No, that's fair. I guess, what's the biggest threat?
Biggest threat, you look over at the side table, and laying right on it, it looks like you think for a moment it could be... Actually, there's not too much you can mistake it for, and you think for a second it almost looks like a human finger just sitting on the side table, and as you just like look at it for just like another moment, you realize it is a human finger. And as it's just laying on the table, you watch as the finger almost begins to move slightly, and almost like insect-like legs on each side open up on the finger, and underneath like where the nail is, 2 almost like tendril-like snail eyes just look up at you, and part of the skin kind of like flaps down, revealing like very small, sharp teeth, and the finger just begins to like jumps off the side table onto one of the walls and begins crawling at you.
Oh, it's cute.
With that, I'm going to jump to Jeremiah.
I'm shouting. I'm shouting an expletive as this is going on.
With a 7 to 9, they're still buying into your you're investigating something that has happened, something horrible has happened to Patrick. You are not at liberty to say. If you want to go on.
Yeah. Trying to think of what I want to do now. So by my stating that, she didn't really answer me. So I said,
she did not.
Will you answer some of my questions? Because I don't want to just keep rapid fire asking questions. I'm trying to build some rapport with her.
Yes, I don't have a problem asking any questions. What do you need to know?
That's wonderful, ma'am. I really appreciate that. Would you mind either come in or you step outside so that we could discuss this without a door between us?
Sure. I recently moved in, so I don't have much furniture, so you'll have to excuse me. But if you'd like to come in, you're free to. And she kind of closes the door, and unlock. You hear the chain unlock, and she kind of opens the door, inviting you in.
Perfect. So I
and
step
you can
inside.
see it. You step inside, and you can see there is just almost similarly. There's just one chair sitting in this where like a dining room area should be, and almost other than that, this whole like from just what you can see, this apartment just appears just barren. It is the simplest, I guess, possible physical needs. It looks like like when like a poor dude just like moves into an apartment and all he has is like a wooden chair and he'd have like a game system with a little TV. It's that, but without the game system and the TV.
So it's just a little wooden chair.
What?
So it's just a chair.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you don't. I mean, you would hope at least like this woman is at least like sleeping on a bed and not just sleeping in this fucking chair. But yeah, it appears that this whole room is very barren.
Okay, cool. Well, I thank you kindly, ma'am, for letting me come inside. Would you like to take a seat in the chair?
Of course. Well, you're my guests. If you'd like to sit down, you can. Is there anything I can get you? And she kind of begins to walk over to the kitchen.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. Yes, I'd like a glass of water, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course. And she kind of she's old, so she just grabs like a glass from inside the cabinet and just like...
Wait, what does being old have to do with that?
No, let me get to it. She just like grabs some tap water and then like gives it to you.
Because the millennials canceled tap water, so she's clearly a boomer or older.
Yes, like as someone my age, I do not trust tap water. However, I know my grandma loves tap water.
Loves tap water.
Right.
You know, back in our day, we drink straight from the hose.
And that's what made America great. So while she's getting me the glass of water, I would like to like take a quick shot around and look inside now that I have a better view, but I'm mostly looking to see if she's left the phone on any surfaces.
We'll say that as she walked to the kitchen, it is almost like an L-shaped counter where it is like long ways in front where there's like a sink, and then the bottom of the L kind of points outwards towards you, and she left her phone on the counter on the closest L. That's probably about like 5 feet away from you, like a little bit forward and to the right, and then it's about like 5 feet away from her as she's at the sink, turned around.
So I'm sorry, how close is it to me? I missed that.
You're about 5 feet away. If you want to attempt to swipe the phone, I'm going to have you act under pressure.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to her a little bit more, but I don't sit. I follow her over to the counter, so that I'm at the end of it, kind of. Like, I'm moving towards the counter, but I'm not looking to swipe anything yet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
She'll turn around with a glass of water and kind of just hand it to you.
Okay. And so then, just so that I'm understanding, are we like on either side of the counter facing each other, and the phone's kind of like to the side of us?
No. Let me paint a better picture. It is not like the counter's in the middle of the room, and you're kind of like looking over each other. It's like the counter is coming out of the wall, out of the back of the wall, like opposite from the wall you've entered in through, and the wall, it comes to a corner to your right, and as that wall continues down, so does the counter.
Okay.
So she is just like right in front of you.
Okay, so I take the water from her.
Here you go.
Sorry. Thank you kindly, ma'am. Now, you said that you just moved in here. What brings you to Flats? Where were you prior?
Oh, you guys are in Vegas.
We're in Vegas now.
Right. What brings you to Vegas?
Oh well, my son lives out here, and I wanted to just live a little closer to him. He's been doing very well, as a businessman out here. So I've been I haven't seen him in a while. So I figured I'd move out here so I could spend a little more time with him.
Well, that's wonderful, ma'am. Family is really what makes life worth living. What kind of
Yes,
business is your son in?
Well, he sells real estate, so he helps sell a lot of houses in the area, and but he lives in the Vegas area more so he could afford it rather than sell in this area. You had questions for me though. What did you need to know?
Yes, ma'am. You did not mention where you were prior to coming to Vegas.
Oh, prior she's like you can definitely tell she's like a little nervous. Uh, oh, well, I was well, I was from Flats, a little up the road, so it wasn't too far, but I just wanted to be a little closer.
So sidebar. So, we're in Vegas right now. So when she's saying that she's from Flats, is it?
Yeah, she moved. She moved fucking like she moved like a half an hour drive.
Solid. So I would actually like to bring up that point to her. It's curious, ma'am, that you'd move just a half hour to be a bit closer to your son, and it's a bit more curious that you say that you don't see him very often, being so close.
Well, he's very busy, but I was hoping that maybe soon that this kind of apartment would be temporary, and I could hopefully live with him. But for me, I actually I can't drive on my own. I'm too old that I had my license revoked. So to drive like that is a bit harder. But if I'm in the city, then I can take public transportation to where he is. So it's a little bit easier.
Ah, I understand. So you had some help moving out here then?
My son helped me for a bit, as much as he could, but it's been up to me to unpack a little lately, and I guess I've been a little, I've kind of been putting it off a little, as it were.
So you have seen him recently?
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen my son a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Very good.
How is Patrick? He's a very nice young man, but you said he was in trouble. What's happening?
Again, ma'am, I apologize, but due to the investigation, I'm not at liberty to disclose too much. What I can tell you is that it may not be simply that the threat exists within Patrick's sphere, but could be targeting the adjoining neighborhood, which is why I'm here asking some questions to make sure we're familiar with the demographic in the area and who we may need to issue protection to.
Oh yes, of course. Would you just excuse me for a second?
Absolutely, ma'am. I'll be right here.
She goes and walks into her bedroom. And with that, I'm going to cut back to Hold'em and William. William, you see this like strange like warped like human finger with like little tendril eyes and like a little like razor mouth like running across the wall like just like running at Hold'em. What do you guys want to do? Oh shit! All right. Um, oh shit. I think with this, because it's almost like a superhuman thing. It's almost. It's. I think it's gonna be a bit more like do as the supernatural do, sort of like that. I want you to roll. Um, I want you to roll plus weird. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm ready to see what number I get.
Oh boy.
Well, plus
you have
weird.
no like.
You have no.
You have no weird. Oh shit! All right.
Damn. I'm
Pararomantic
surprised by
doesn't.
that.
Pararomantic doesn't have natural plus weird. That's weird.
That's weird. Yeah.
Well, it might just depend on what stats he ended up taking.
He can have,
now I'm kind of curious. I'm looking for like the stats block. Oh yeah, the best you could have is like plus one weird, but that's only one of the stats. There's even
Yeah.
a minus one weird. Oh, like all of them have like plus two charm. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? I can appreciate Monster of the Week of being progressive between having a human fall in love with a monster and not calling it weird. I can appreciate that.
I can appreciate that too. It's much more
Yeah.
charming as opposed to
Ah!
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, you go to, you step in, you like almost superhuman, like fast move up to Hold'em, getting right into the way of this creature that is about to leap at him, and you go to catch it, and as you catch it, you kind of confused for a second as like for a split second you kind of blink as it looks like you almost have like six fingers for a second as it squirms around your hand and actually like bites down on your fingers and actually tries to like almost just starts like digging and ripping into your hand, and you take 2 harm.
I'm gonna run up and try to yank it off and step on it.
Sure. Why don't you roll?
Kick some ass.
I would say that'd be kick some ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's roll plus tough.
That's an 8.
8 total.
8 total.
On a 7+ UN, whatever you're fighting, inflict harm on each other. The amount of harm is based on the established dangers in the game. Yeah. So with that, you go to you manage to rip this almost like insectoid finger off of William's hand as this almost like you notice like a dark bluish kind of blood kind of like rush from his hand, and as you pull it off, the finger immediately like bites down on the side of your hand as you take 1 harm. But with one single fucking flick, you flick it down onto the ground and stomp on it, dealing another harm, squishing the finger entirely.
What the fuck was that? Was that one of your things? Like that's like inside you? I don't know. You're the one with the fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, how do you do that? Do you just think like veto? Like, do you say that it out loud, or do you just like think it, or?
How do you ask Vita things? Okay.
What that appears to have been must have been part of a host's body that they must have been able to almost leave behind as some sort of security or even alarm system. I didn't even know something like something was capable of doing that. But we must run the risk that the host might possibly know, especially if it's injured. Sure, I'm right here. Oh, that's me. I think you've noticed previously that your blood has been, it was a reddish, now almost, I guess, bluish tint as you see it. I see through your eyes, so I do see the same color spectrum. That is much more. The longer that we stay together, and the longer that we are symbiotic, I do not know what will happen. There are going to be changes in your body, and you're going to notice as not only your blood flows through your veins, so am I. And while that color might change, the more you use superhuman like abilities, and even the more you strain your body, I'm worried what kind of effect it might have on you. So please be careful. Sure, sure, yeah. Or
Okay. Okay.
with that, I'm gonna jump back to. With that, I'm gonna jump to Cliff. What's Cliff doing?
So I've just been chilling by the truck. I've been on my phone playing a cornhole app, and trying to get high in the rankings on it. We'll also keep cornhole.
It's bags.
It's the game where you toss bags and you try to get as close to the hole as possible.
It's bags. Regional dialect, but it's weird. It's weird because Gabe and I are the Midwesterners and we call it bags. When we're the corn. That's what we call it.
All right.
The official name, I watched the legit on ESPN the other day was like the Cornhole Championships, and I watched a bit of them. So that's like the official name, but that's not important to the podcast. So,
all right, Cliff, I want you to read a bad situation.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Whoa! That's an 11 minus 1. That's still a 10.
Okay. So with that, you are going to, with a 10, right? You said
Yes.
on a 10, you hold 3.
Damn. Okay. Well, I'm keeping watch. So, is there any dangers I haven't noticed?
I guess I don't know, you lose at cornhole. I don't know how cornhole fucking works.
Wait, is this whole thing gonna be about cornhole? I thought that there was actually
No.
something happening.
No. No. Yeah, you rolled you rolled an 11 for cornhole. All right. So with that, you are distracted from your phone for a moment as you look down and notice almost crawling across the parking lot are 4 more of these like insectoid like things you saw in that apartment, and it's at this moment you realize that they're almost like human fingers that are just crawling across on like 6 insect-like like legs that are all just that don't seem to be paying you much mind, but seem to be moving towards the apartment the apartment rooms.
What's the best way to protect the victims?
The best way to protect the victims, what was that?
Step on them.
The bada bing. With that, the best way to protect the victims.
I mean, Kelsey does have a point.
I'm trying to think of like a narrative, way to kind of describe it. You're kind of distracted for a moment, as you know what, I might cut this out, me just fucking stammering trying to figure out what the fuck to describe. But you hear inside the apartment complex. Hold on, what is it you said when the fucking like finger started to like run at you?
I probably just shouted like "fuck" really loudly.
All right, yeah, you hear him yell "fuck," and it's only at this moment do you realize like with like you that they're probably in trouble and they're probably heading towards them, and the best way to protect them might be to either let them know that these things are coming or to stop them in some way, or you also feel the truck keys in your hand, in your offhand as well.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I have to give one more question, right?
Yeah.
What other ones do I want to even do?
Here.
What's my yeah. What do you guys think?
You already asked.
Best way
victims.
in, best way out. Biggest threat and what's most vulnerable to me.
No. So this is my stuff.
So
now.
Cliff is out in the parking lot, and 4 more fingers have started just scuttering by towards their direction.
I mean, I feel like a part of me wants to ask what's my best way out but in the context of getting Hold'em and William out as soon as possible. But I don't know. I don't know if that's like necessary right now. Like, I don't know if they're like in a situation where they need to be pulled out.
I mean, I did shout "fuck" really loudly.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, what's the best? Can I ask that with the context of wanting to get them out?
You don't believe that there's most likely no. You can kind of piece together, knowing the building surroundings, that there is no back entrance to whatever apartment it is that they entered, and you are realizing that they're going to have to. Hold on. That was my mom. All right, future Matt, cut that out. Not future Go Cubs, future me.
No, we know.
All right, Kelsey, cut that out. All right. So for their best way out, you can spatially recognize that there really is no back entrance to the apartments, and you're going to have to you realize that they're going to have to come back out either the door or the window that they most likely came through. And you're trying to think of what could possibly be the best way for them to get back out as soon as possible, as you hear your phone just say, "Cornhole!"
Okay, so
reminding you you have your phone in your hand.
I closed the Cornhole app, I opened up the text app, and I call them. As I'm calling them to try to to warn them, And listen, I understand that Cliff is not the brightest bulb, and he could just go over there and maybe just stop on these things, but he doesn't know. He's scared to death. He gets in the car and attempts to run them over.
Okay. All right. You're getting in the car and you're attempting to call them. I want to jump back to Jeremiah, where Jeremiah, you yeah. Yes, yeah, you are there. She went to so she said she would be right back. You actually hear you know you I was gonna say make a perception check. You are waiting for a moment or two, and you're kind of wondering what's taking her so long. And then you hear her from the other room, like, "Excuse me, could you give me a hand for a second?" Easy enough to do. Sure. It seems like it seems like the noise um is coming from what you assume to be the bedroom. You see her, she is uh no, she kind of has like she's kind of half in the closet, and you can see in the bedroom um there is no bed. There is no furniture. I want you to roll to read a bad situation.
Holy shit. I'm sorry, I keep on saying that every single time you say that, but like everything is freaking me out. I know. I know. Because I'm freaking out. This whole thing is so freaky to me.
Yes. Okay, with 11,
Nice.
you get to ask 3 of those questions. Best way in, best way out. Any dangers haven't noticed. Biggest threat. Vulnerable. What's the best way to protect the victims? Okay. Oh, I also want to remind you guys, because I've been asking you guys to roll so many of these. Keep track of any experience you guys take, and keep track of if you guys act on that stuff personally, you will get +1. So when I jump back to Cliff and he's trying to run them over, I'm going to give him +1 because he rolled very well, and now he's trying to run them over. So with that, which question did you ask? With no other furniture left in the room, your eyes are kind of left to look around, and it is in the center of the room that you see what almost looks like just imprinted in the carpet. You know when like a piece of furniture has just been sitting in a carpet, like standing on a carpet for so long, it just imprints itself into the carpet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine that, but it's 2 footprints, as if someone just has stood in one place almost for hours and hours until that imprint is just left on the carpet. Yes. And your best way out, you have not yet entered the room. And you know your best way out is right back through the front door of the apartment you came through. Yeah.
Hmm.
You guys can also discuss as a group too.
I feel like you need to check what are the dangers you haven't noticed, because like, oh wait,
You did what's the biggest threat.
Yeah, do that one.
With aren't dangers we haven't noticed. I don't want to give you the same answer because at this point you've noticed that this woman is definitely a threat. You also hear your truck begin to like rev outside, and from the exact angle you're at, you can actually see the parking lot, and you see what looks like Cliff in your truck. Actually, no, you guys said you took Cliff's car. Actually,
Yeah.
or it doesn't matter.
We can retcon whatever.
And he is trying.
we can retcon it. It was Leclerc's truck.
All right, we'll say it was Leclerc's truck that you guys took, and he is driving your truck, and he is trying to run over some like small skittering things in the parking lot, and as you turn back at the woman, she opens her head out from the closet. And where her face should be, it is almost like split down the middle with almost Venus flytrap style teeth on either side, opening into what almost like a large type of mouth, and her eyes are just like eyelids almost like back, like piercing at you, just like staring. And she is going to attempt to grab you. And with that, we're gonna jump to Hold'em.
Where are we jumping though?
We're gonna jump to Hold'em and William. Yeah, sure. No. The dangers you have not noticed yet is that there are the little skittering people. The little skittering fingers. But the biggest threat is definitely
the woman.
This woman.
With the Venus flytrap face.
Yeah. With that, I'm going to jump to Hold'em and William. You guys defeated the monster. You defeated the finger.
Cool.
With that, I want do you guys kind of just like look around the apartment to kind of see like where possibly number 9 has gone. You also have the apron now too, if you want to take a look at that.
Yeah, since I'm holding the apron, I'll examine it.
Yeah, sure. As you look at the apron, it appears to be like an employee apron that like a cashier might wear. That is embroidered at the top for Greg's Groceries, which you guys recognize to be the grocery store in Flats. Each of you have been there before, as it is the general kind of grocery store. It's a much smaller one that you've been to. And you remember that in his biography, it did say that he was a previous employee of the grocery store.
Okay, so this guy was... So, my last vision thing, Will, was the, there was something that involved a grocery store, and if this guy is involved with that grocery store, I think we should go check that store out. Should we go tell the others, or do you want to keep looking around here?
I'm also going to give you guys this too, as you guys are kind of just looking around the apartment. You notice that the bedroom is completely empty, and where a bed should be is just 2-foot imprints, as if someone has just stood there. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go like further through any like he has his closet? There's also like some other doors and stuff too. Or what are you guys gonna do?
Anything you want to do specifically, Gabe? All right, I'll look in the closet then, I guess. I'll roll. I guess just
sure.
A general. Can I do a general investigative mystery for the apartment?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and roll an investigative mystery.
All right, it's plus sharp. That's 6 plus 1, 7.
7. All right. 7 and 9. You get to hold one. I'll repost that for you.
Okay. I guess I'll ask. What's being concealed here? Is there anything being concealed? Because I'm just gonna kind of like look for clues at this point.
Yeah, in terms of anything being concealed, one thing that you go to look inside the closet, and you find what seems to be, you see clothes hanging on racks. You see the spooky kind of cult hood that council members have to wear. You find some other clothes as well, except tucked in at the back of the closet, you find what almost looks like a general, kind of outfit, but it is almost like a bit like bloody and a bit ripped. You can see at like the arm of the almost like the shoulder length, almost at the shoulder of the arm, there is what almost looks like a bit of a rip and blood around it, as if something ripped through the shirt, as if there was some sort of struggle or something in this outfit, as it is incredibly dirty. But this is definitely something that happened a long time ago.
All right, I'm gonna take the shirt.
But this kind of outfit has been concealed. And okay, William, as you're looking around, William, you kind of look through the rest of the apartment, and everything seems perfectly mundane. However, next to the toilet is sitting a plunger. An evil plunger. Aw, yeah.
Da 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 da.
Wait, is that on the list?
That's on Jesse's list.
Yeah,
nice.
That's the only reason I mentioned it.
Cool. I felt bad because I was like, I really want to look for Jesse's stuff, but a part of me also knows that as you're not gonna let us fall through on that stuff.
Well, you guys could just go to the grocery store and just buy a plunger.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like it.
It's not as fun as breaking and entering and stealing a pet. Yes.
All right. At this
point... William, now as you like. Oh, hold on. William, you go to reach for the plunger, and you actually like with your hand that was slightly cut up, and you notice that it is almost completely healed from the from what has happened already. I will say that you are healed up 1, as almost like Wolverine style, your wounds are patching themselves together. Sorry, hold on, what was it you wanted to do?
Oh, at this point, do I know about the other things going on? Like I'm gonna jump to Cliff. Cliff, okay. I want you to roll
plus tough. Kick some ass.
Yeah, roll to kick some ass.
That is a 7.
7. 7. You guys inflict harm on each other. With that, we'll say with a 7, just because it's a little on the lower end of the medium scale. You manage to run over 2 of them. One of them manages to like jump up and like bites a bit at the bumper, but this bumper is already dented from like running over a fucking dog. And another finger kind of like jumps up and bites into the tire, which is now slowly leaking air, but you manage to squish it underneath. The other 2 continue to scurry towards... you would get +1 on that, but that would just bring it to an 8. With that, I'll say that you've definitely slowed them down, as they are now much more... With an 8, I'll say they're much more distracted with you for a few moments, but that has not stopped them. With that, I'm going to jump to... with that, we're going to jump to Jeremiah. Sure. With that, I want you to roll to act under pressure. So roll plus cool.
Hell yeah.
Oh my.
All right, with a 12, I want you to tell me, does Jeremiah say like some like slick one-liner and then just shut the door and run, or what happens? Yeah, sure.
Wait, what about for this?
Say that again, Gabe. I love when Gabe laughs at his own jokes.
I enjoy it.
Sure. you you go, aw titties, and then you just shut the door, and as you do, you see like she's like almost from a distance going to try to like reach out and like would like try to grab you from a distance, as almost like her arm, like where joints would be, almost like break, and like reaches out her arm. And you think like Jeremiah has this like smug ass look on his face, like, huh, I showed her, like I just shut the door in her face, and then the hand just fucking breaks through the door. and like just misses Jeremiah by like an inch, and then begins like clawing at the door, and Jeremiah, you fucking book it for the for the door of the apartment. With that, William and Hold'em, you guys hear that smash of the door, like next door, and you're like, oh shit. And I think you can hear Jeremiah, being the man he is. I think you just hear him fucking sprinting across that apartment.
I'm gonna run outside, unlock the door, and run outside.
Sure. And William, you follow.
What?
All right, roll plus cool.
That's not how that works, but okay.
No, I like it.
With 8, I would. You know what? I'll say. No, unfortunately, nobody notices in the rush, but you look way fucking cooler than Hold'em.
I'll take it.
If you rolled a 10, there would be paparazzi taking photos.
If you rolled a 10, the other characters would have noticed. Yeah, you do like a Ferris Bueller kind of like slide through the door, but like Hold'em's too concentrated on making sure that like he relocks the door, even though that like a squished finger that now like Hold'em, you see it, like the finger is like almost like, you know, like in like Ned's Declassified or any fucking like cartoon show, like oh no, the mystery meat, haha, so funny, and then it starts moving on its own. Yeah. That is like what the squished finger is like very slowly doing towards the front door.
Okay.
And you are like so concentrated on that you don't even notice William's cool fucking slide out the door, and you lock the door behind you and you close it. And as the three of you just simultaneously run out of the apartments, you just hear behind Jeremiah just a
okay.
Yeah, and Jeremiah, you can hear very loud just footsteps coming right towards the front door. Would you guys like to continue to run?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds good.
Let me consider it for a moment. Oh yeah, sure, some bonding time.
Wait, this is not the time for this.
Ab-
Is Cliff in this scene?
I'm assuming time is paused.
Okay, because I literally want
I'm
to roll
assuming
down
time is
the
frozen.
fucking window and just be like, "Haul ass, come on!" Get to the car. Cliff, I feel like okay, he will say arse. That's true. That's very true.
No, I say we
With
run.
that, the window to the woman's apartment just shatters, and like one fucking like horribly disfigured hand like reaches out and tries to swipe.
Yeah, let's run. Let's run. We can go.
All right, you guys run for the truck. Cliff, I want you to make another kick some ass roll for these other two little fingy wingies.
Oh god, no. That's an 8. Plus 1, that's a 9.
All right, on a 9, I'll say that's another. I will say with that, similar to the last one, you are able to squish over the. You squish over one, and then you like lose the other one for a second because it's so small, and you are like looking frantically because the whole time you have been looking like somebody who, you know, like when somebody can't parallel park right, so they are just like forwards back, forward back. That's what I imagine Cliff has looked like this whole time, trying to run over these like little insectoid fingers, and you like stop for a second because you realize you've like lost track of it, and you throw it in reverse for like 10 feet and you can't see it, and then like you start frantically looking around, trying to find this like last fourth one, and then you look over and you just see it sitting in like the passenger seat, and then it hisses and jumps at you.
Oh god.
That's so cartoony.
It latches onto your arm and bites down on you as you take minus one harm, and you then grab it and kind of like squish it in your hands, which feels so gross, and you just like throw all of it out the window, and you're like, oh no.
I didn't want to touch anything this slimy before.
With that, like the three of you see like Cliff just throw something out like the window of the car, and Cliff, you could see the three of them running for the truck.
Pick up your keysters. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get in.
And I'll say with that, you guys successfully make it into the truck, and drive off.
Wait, does anyone want to like look back at the whatever the is there like, because I heard yeah, because I want to know what's
yeah, as you look back, it does not appear as if you are being followed.
Okay. And the phone.
And this
Congrats, guys. You
Oh, we got the Greg's thing too.
Yeah, you hold up the apron and it just shows Greg's Groceries, which, like, Jeremiah, that was where you were like earlier today to pick up your Zim Zam Zoom hot pickle chips.
So I guess the grocery store is the next stop. I'm sorry, by the way, LeClaire, if you want to switch seats, we can, but I feel like we're in a rush.
Okay.
All right.
You go to look at the phone, like any old person's phone. There is no password.
Just
and
really dunking on old
go
people, huh?
No, I'm kidding. Like any alien parasite, there is no password. And you go to you go to look through the photos. There is the one of the four of you. And you know what, actually, let's play with this. I want you to Um.
If you're holding
I want
anything
you
back,
to.
let it go.
I want you to roll plus weird. I want you to roll plus weird. This isn't specific to Jeremiah. This is the only time that like this kind of roll can be made on this phone. But I want to just see what happens depending on this roll.
Whew.
Okay. Okay. I want you to mark experience. And with that, you go to look through the photos. Many of these photos, while there aren't many, there's probably maybe like 20 or so. There are, no, actually, no. You start to like look through this phone, and it almost seems like at some point, this phone actually belonged to someone else. Like you look through the photos, and there are photos of like people you have never seen. There are there's contacts in here, but it's almost like this phone was just taken. Um, and you kind of notice at one point the photos shift from like selfies and like food pics and things like that to almost kind of strange photography. There, most of them are very blurred, a bit hard to see, as if they were either like you would like if this was a normal person's phone, you would even guess like taken on accident, or something like that. But they're almost sinister in just how abstract and blurred they are. And there is one photo that you are almost able to make it out. It is a dark picture. It you would assume either in a pitch dark room, or what's most likely, depending on the size of what you're looking at, it must be outdoors. And you see what almost looks like a crater or some sort of very large just ditch in the ground, possibly even underground caving. It's hard to tell, but there is something huge giving off this almost red and orange light that is almost looks like a plant, like a flower that has yet to bloom, like a bud. However, just based on how the picture is taken, it looks gigantic. And that you can't tell what the material of this plant-like thing is, but it looks almost monstrous, and it makes you uneasy while looking at it.